One of the striking discoveries of the last 50 or 60 years in physics has been that the laws and the constants of physics, in other words, the numbers that govern the operation of the universe, unexpectedly conspire in an absolutely extraordinary way to make the universe habitable for life. In other words, the universe is finely tuned on a razor's edge in a way that defies mere chance and is better explained as the work of a creator. It's like if you go out at night, and it's one of those real dark nights, and you see all the stars in the sky, and you walk out at night, and instead of seeing a sky full of stars, you see a sky full of dials. 100 dials all over the sky, and each dial has millions, some of them billions, some of them trillions of possible settings on each of these 100 dials in the sky. And every one of these 100 dials is absolutely calibrated to the exact precision so that life can exist. That is the picture of the world that we get from contemporary physics. Let me give you some examples. Each of those dials represents a parameter of physics that's finely tuned. One of them is the force of gravity. We all know what gravity is. And gravity, the force of gravity, is finely tuned to an incomprehensible degree so that life can exist. How finely tuned is it? Imagine a ruler that stretches across the entire universe, 15 billion light years. Like just a ruler, and it's broken down in 1-inch increments. That represents plausibly the range along which the force of gravity could be calibrated, anywhere along there. But it is calibrated along that dial at the exact right place so that life can exist. How precise is it? If you were to change the force of gravity 1 inch compared to the 15 billion light year width of the universe, 1 inch, intelligent life would be impossible anywhere in the universe. That is just mind-boggling how finely tuned that one parameter is. Another example is what's called the cosmological constant. Sounds like a fancy term. It just means the energy density of space. Now, it sounds technical, but what you need to know about the cosmological constant is it needs to be balanced on a razor's edge in order for the universe to exist. If the number of the cosmological constant were large and positive, galaxies and stars and planets would not exist. If it were large and negative, the entire universe would just collapse upon itself. But it has to be exactly calibrated to the perfect place so that life can exist. How perfectly does it need to be calibrated? It has to be finely tuned to 1 part in 100 million billion 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 billion. How finely tuned is that? That is so finely tuned. That would be like going on the moon and taking a dart and throwing it at planet Earth and hitting a predetermined bullseye that is 1/trillionth of an inch in diameter, the size of one atom. That is how finely tuned the cosmological constant is. Now, he said there's about 100 of these dials. Just take the force of gravity and the cosmological constant and put those two together, and the precision, the fine-tuning is so precise. It's so precise to a level of 1 part in 100 million trillion 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 trillion. That's equal to 1 atom in the entire known universe. Friends, the universe is not an accident. This doesn't happen by chance. You look at those numbers, and a scientist will tell you, you know what that numbers tells you? It is impossible for that to happen by chance. It ain't ever going to happen by chance. The numbers are and that's just 2 of the parameters.